The following program is seen statewide on California Public Television. You know, I'm sure those early Mission Padres had absolutely no idea what they were starting when they planted those first orange trees hundreds of years ago. But from those first trees, a mighty California citrus industry grew. Groves of orange and lemon and grapefruit trees blanketed the landscape, and thousands of people were directly employed to grow, pick, and package that juicy, colorful fruit. Through clever marketing, fresh citrus became synonymous around the world with California. No doubt about it, citrus was a large part, both literally and figuratively, of the California landscape. And today, there's still over 200,000 acres in production. But times are changing, and urban sprawl is eating up a lot of the groves. To preserve some of the rapidly vanishing citrus industry and to tell the important California citrus story, a wonderful state park has been created. A state park that's truly golden.
I love you, California. You're the greatest state of all. I love you in the winter, summer, spring, and in the fall. I love your fertile valleys, your dear mountains I adore. I love your grand old oceans, and I love a rugged shore.
Well, it doesn't get any prettier than this. I'm standing here on a glorious spring morning at the California Citrus State Historic Park with Superintendent Ron Creeper. Ron, this is an absolutely beautiful setting here, looking out over these citrus groves. This is one of California's newest state parks. It's less than 10 years old. It's also one of its most important, historically speaking, isn't it?
That's correct. The purpose of this park is to try and capture that story of citrus that had a significant impact on the history of California, early 1900s, from 1890 to 1930. And as you see throughout California and in Riverside here, we're losing so many of the groves, and it had a huge history behind it. And also, we're losing that landscape of what used to look out of miles of this green carpet of groves and whatnot, and we're not seeing that anymore.
Yeah,
so
it used to be, if we were standing up here, we would be totally 360 around us, looking at citrus groves. Now, the park has about how many acres?
About 180 acres of working grove that we actually keep in production, and we use it for interpretation, but also it helps to, we sell the fruit through our nonprofit management corporation.
So you're buying and selling fruit up here.
Fruit.
Oh, that's great.
And it's then that funding can help come back into the park to help improve facilities and to make more improvements, because, as again, this is such a young park, and we're only in the second phase of 5 planned phases for this park. And right now, we just have finished our second phase of the park in less than 9 years.
Wow. Do you find when people come here and they look out at all of this, they know even what they're looking at, especially kids? Do people understand the history of citrus in this state?
Well, that's what we're here for, to have that here available for future generations to enjoy. History teachers bring their kids here. A lot of school tours come here. We have an interpretive program, volunteers and docents that give tours so that we can keep this history, because, you know, the citrus industry is also considered like the second gold rush to California. The first, as you know, the 1849, the 49ers, but from 1890 to 1930, the lure of coming out here into California, having this luscious fruit grown in the middle of winter and shipped back east in the cold of winter, drew a lot of people and a lot of diverse groups of people out here to try and find their wealth and their gold. And so that was that California dream that they wanted to come see.
Now, are we looking at what used to be one citrus ranch here? How did you get hold of this?
All this here is a combination of many small ranches. It was determined in the 1980s with the city of Riverside and a finder group that this area here would fit very well because of Riverside is a very historic part of Southern California. Had a lot of different parts of citrus, but Riverside was the capital of citrus growing. And also we have the historic Gage Canal that brought water from San Bernardino over here and made this semi-arid desert area viable with this green, luscious, all these trees here.
So this is a perfect place to have a park dedicated to the history of citrus.
Correct, yes it is.
All right, it's one thing to stand up here and look out at all this. Boy, it's beautiful and green standing up here. It's another thing to go down into the groves themselves, and that's what we're going to do today.
That's correct.
As we get ready to go down into the groves, this is a very interesting story that you just kind of told me. These palm trees are not here by accident, are they, Ron?
No, they're not. Back when we had these miles and miles of green citrus and few roads, dirt roads, the roads into these small ranches and areas where growers had 10, 12, maybe 20, 30 acres, they had to mark where to get back to their homes. So they planted these palm trees, and these palm trees here are historic in themselves. They were here planted on this knoll on this road 100 years ago for a person who wanted to mark his spot as you're driving through. Hey, this is my left turn or my right turn to get up this road and move over to a large knoll on the far side behind us over here for the scenic area that they can see from the whole area here.
So these used to be like signposts in a way. The growers would actually put in these trees to see how to get home, because when they were down at ground level, all they were seeing were citrus trees.
That's correct, Hugh. Yes.
Wow. So we've got historic citrus trees and we've got historic palm trees. Everything is historic in this park.
Yeah, and we're trying to add more facilities, historic artifacts that are from that time period, and that'll be in future museums and items that we have here. Since we're still young, we're still trying to get these little things as they go away. A lot of citrus farmers, as they leave their groves, they donate items to us, and we're hoping to collect a big collection so that we can interpret this to future generations to come.
All right, you got us excited. We're heading down into the grove. We're down in the grove, and Ron, you also have beautiful bougainvillea here, so you've got more than just citrus here.
That's correct. We have a lot of garden areas where people can enjoy just to walk through these gardens down here below us, the bridal grove here, and also a big open turf and lawn area where there's a group picnic and whatnot, and picnic areas.
And we also have, well, these people look like they belong here.
They do. We're very much, we rely on our docents. We have about 30 docents that to give excellent tours and have a lot of knowledge and history, personal history of the area, and also of these trees here. And they're the backbone of what our whole operation interpretation is here.
Howdy, Huell Hauser.
Right, Bob Lynn.
Nice to meet you.
Charlene Moretz.
Nice to meet you. Now, if people come here to the park, they hook up with you all and you give the tour.
That's right.
How long does the tour last?
Oh, it could be up to about 45 minutes.
Depending on how wound up you all get talking about citrus.
Yeah. And whether they're real small children or elderly, or we give tours to every age.
All right, I'm somewhere in between the small children and the elderly. So can you kind of give us an idea of what you would say? Because I'm looking over your shoulder right here. Is this an orange?
No, that's a lemon.
That's what I thought. Now, were there lots of lemon trees out here?
Quite a few. We have a lot of lemon groves. They had a packing house down in Corona for lemons, and that was Sunkist did a lot of the packing of lemons and also all the other fruits that were around.
All right, so you got a lemon tree. You got something else up here that I'm really curious about. What are these little oranges up here?
Well, these little ones are limequats.
Limequats.
Yeah. They're these were used mostly by Oriental and use them for sort of a spice.
Uh-huh.
And what they do is they would peel this and use the skin, because the skin is sort of sweet, and use that in a stir fry. The insides is very sour, so they didn't use that.
Wow. Now, would these have been growing here at the turn of the century? Would they have grown many of these?
These are some of the new varieties that have come out, manufactured, done by UCR, and some of the ones that they find in various other countries and bring them.
Ah, so you all are putting in new things as well as historic things to
Right.
talk with people about.
Right. Oh, yeah. We have a lot of different new type varieties, although we have some old. This one right here, if it had anything on it, would be a Mexican lime.
All right, this one's already been harvested.
No, this, yeah, but it's still got limes on it.
I don't see any.
Oh, you can see some in here. There's one right there.
Oh, there's just a little one right
They're the
here.
little ones, and they're almost all year round. They'll have limes on them.
Now, when you have tours coming through here, do you have people picking the fruit?
Hope not. No, this is a state park, and picking is verboten, if you want to say that.
Because you're kind of tempted when you walk through here
Oh, yeah.
to reach out and grab one of these things, reach out and touch one of them.
Well, a lot of them will do this, but as a docent, each one of us carries our little knife, and if you want to test one, we will cut it for you and let you try it.
Now, would a tour actually go down through the grove like
Oh, yeah,
this?
Sure.
So
yeah.
you actually get out and walk through the grove.
We walk through the grove. We'll actually show you an orange and say, ask if they want to try it. These are Washington navels in through here.
These are navel oranges.
These are all navel oranges. Normally these would be picked by now, but they're
Can you take one of them off?
sure.
I mean, it's okay for him to pick one.
That's
isn't it?
right. It's all for interpretation.
Oh, okay.
This is interpretation, and what we'll do, we can slice you an orange
Ah.
and
Oh my
show,
gosh.
show you what it looks like.
That's a beaut. Do you
And,
find when people are taking the tour through here, they know much about citrus?
Not very many of them.
Really?
No, and we have a great deal of young children from the schools, and they are really excited about learning about all the different kinds of citrus.
So they don't know a thing.
No, usually the kids think that an orange comes from the grocery store,
Oh,
and that's as far as they get. And so then we'll
I'm reaching out to grab this thing because I
Yeah.
want to. Are you allowed to taste it?
sure try it
Because this is about as fresh as it gets right off the
right
tree.
off the tree.
Wow. All right, let's keep on walking because this is great. You know, a lot of people have probably never walked through a grove, even if they've driven by one and seen it on the road.
Right. They love to come up and see the oranges and touch them on the trees, you know. Of course, they're tempted to pull one off, but which is not allowed.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And you've got each one of these is marked. So here's the sweet orange, Moro blood orange, Carrizo.
You need to see this one. This is so exciting with the color inside of this orange. It has, for me, it has a little bit of a raspberry flavor to it. It has.
Look at him in the tree in there.
Yeah.
Find one?
We'll find one and let you. But,
Now, can I just put the peel down here?
right
That'll be
down wherever you want.
Is that compost? Does that make a compost?
Yes, yes. We recycle all this.
Okay, good. Oh,
Look at that.
look at this one.
Isn't that neat?
This looks like a
Oh.
blood orange.
Yes, this is the Moro blood orange. There are several varieties of blood orange, from just little bitty streaks in it to real dark maroon, the whole thing. They're
Oh,
really
wow.
wonderful.
Can I taste this one?
Nice and sweet, very sweet. It has a little bit of raspberry.
Now I know why you're a docent. You like to eat oranges.
I love it here.
Yeah, that's all biodegradable, so we just throw any of the peels down that we have testing.
Now, when you go through the groves, do you stop and talk about each one of these kinds of oranges, or do you just kind of give them a general overview, or what?
Just a general overview. The prominent ones are the Washington navels. We have a whole row of Washingtons here. And these are usually used. We'll pick these for demonstrations, and kids will have testing when they get to the end.
I'm looking over here. This is a beautiful area over here. What's this?
Oh, that's our picnic area. Usually after a tour with children, they will have their lunch and everything down here. And but those are first come, first serve. You can reserve it, but they'll have weddings in here. We have some games that kids will play down here on the grass, And over in this one section, right in down and through here, during the summer, we have our summer concerts.
Wow, this is beautiful here. You hear the birds singing?
Yes, it's a unique place to get away from everyday stress and life out here in the city of Riverside. You come out here, eat your lunch at lunch break, and get in the evenings we're open until 7 o'clock at night. So you can after work come over here and enjoy it.
And I'm just looking down here at the grove, and then you look up at the palm trees, and all of this are these are all the layers of history here in this park.
Right, and this is going to be preserved for future generations so they can see how it really was when we had a lot of oranges.
Now, we missed the blooms by a couple of weeks, but the smell is part of the history of citrus too, isn't it?
Oh, quite a bit. The whole town, Riverside, San Bernardino, Redlands, just saturated with the smell of oranges or blossoms of citrus.
I have heard stories about how during the blooming season, people would just go out for Sunday drives and roll the windows down on the car.
Because my father used to do that. He had 5 girls, and we just would roll all the windows down and sniff in as much of that good fragrance as we could get.
Yeah. Well, I lived in an orange grove, so I didn't have to. I walk outside, and there it was.
So part of what we're saving in this park is also the smell.
The smells. Oh yeah, and even the citrus itself. When you're peeling it and everything else, you get the smell of the orange or the lemon, whichever that you're picking.
So when you're coming to the Citrus Park, to get the full, impact of the park, don't come if you've got a bad cold, right?
No, don't do that. No. Although we will give you some lemons, and that'll help. A lot of vitamin C.
Well, we've got some visitors to the park. How you doing this morning?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Now, what are you all doing here? Did you all have a yearning to be among the citrus today?
Oh, yeah, we're just taking a walk around.
Yeah, she said, let's go look around, and we came here.
Well, now, do you know anything about citrus in these groves?
Well, my dad, we used to light up the lamps in Riverside for the orange groves.
Oh, the smudge pot.
Yeah, the smudge pots. Yeah, me and my dad.
So this brings back memories for you.
Oh, yeah, it does. And my father picked oranges also.
Yeah.
But he picked them up in Orange County, though.
Well, there was citrus all over
There
California.
was a lot. There aren't
I
very
used to
many.
pick oranges in Irvine, too. I mean, right here in Riverside, I used to pick up oranges.
Really?
Yeah, we used to take a truck and ladders and everything.
So this has got to be bringing back a lot of good memories for you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We moved over here now.
Well, it smells good. It smells just like it used to.
We heard a lot about this park, but we had never stopped before, and I thought, let's take a drive.
Well, what do you think about
I
it?
love it. It's beautiful.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty,
Yeah.
Well, have fun.
Okay, thank you.
They're walking through the groves.
TV all the time.
Bye-bye. The tour continues, and now we've moved to another part of the park. And Bob, everybody here is real proud of this little house right here.
Yeah, that's a house that was actually downtown, and the city of Riverside moved it in here, piece by piece, a little bit.
And what does it represent? What was it?
It was a grower's home downtown in Riverside, and it was built back about 1889. And actually, it was the farmer that had it had one little room, and then he kept adding as his kids came along. And so on this one, there's about 5 different sections in here of additions.
Oh, wow. He had a big family.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Ron, is this kind of representative of what a grower's house would look like?
Yes, it would. And so in the setting here, you can imagine this person who maybe lived here around the turn of the century would have 10 or 20 acres behind him, and that area, would be his grove that they would then harvest and ship off to market.
And you've got another little historic vehicle over here. What's this, Bob?
That's an International, 1929. I think it is something like that, pretty close.
And this is the kind of truck that they would...
Typical of what, when we were in the groves, we would have these crates here, and they'd fill them full of oranges using a picking bag, and they'd fill the boxes.
Uh-huh.
And then they would pile them on the truck, stack them up, and then they would take them to a packing house.
So this is about as authentic a look as it would get. You've got the old truck, you've got the old house, and you've got the grove.
Right. Wonderful. It was the best way to get around.
Yeah.
Horse and buggy were before that, but this was wonderful when this came along.
All right, now we're out at the entrance of the park here on the side of busy Van Buren Boulevard. And Ron, you've got a bit of citrus cultural history out here.
Yeah, we sure do. This is a small replica of what the large orange stands used to go along Highway 99 in the San Joaquin Valley in the early 1900s. When air conditioning was not in automobiles, people would stop, refresh themselves along these stands, and continue on their travels. And so this is, you know, appropriate on the corner here of Van Buren, kind of signals, hey, this is our state park representing all of California and its citrus history.
Ah, so this park is not just for Riverside citrus history, it's for California citrus history.
That's correct.
And this represents what would have been up and down Highway 99. Charlene's all upset because she can't sell us any orange juice out of this thing.
That's right. We have no method of selling orange juice out of here or oranges.
But the idea is
Yes.
to represent what used to be in California.
Yes, it's just a replica of it, but it's a well-known to a lot of the older people.
What do you mean?
Well, because they recognize this.
They remember this.
They remember this, yes, and they want to stop and get some orange juice, but there's none here.
Well, you need to open up a lemonade stand out here or something,
That's
Ron.
correct, yeah. As we get bigger and bigger, we're hoping to do that. And with our new visitor center, you know, then everybody can have a token of an orange or juice to come back. And we're still growing, and that's something in the plans in the future.
Wow, you mean actually this would have been just an orange like this sitting on the side of the highway.
It's huge.
A bigger one even than this, and with the people would be inside selling juice to thirsty travelers.
Right, it was an exciting thing to see, and they couldn't wait to stop there and get refreshed.
When they expand the park, I think you found your calling. Charlene will be operating out of the Big Orange.
I will do it. If they allow me, I would do that, yes.
Now, what's the deal on the roses? Would they have had roses
Oh, yes.
in?
Yes, all of these are the antique roses grown back in the 1900s. The big climbing roses here, and then also the real tight rose over here on the side. And it makes a gorgeous spot for weddings. We have many, many weddings here.
Ah, so you have weddings right in the citrus grove.
Right here in the, yes, all in this grove here, and right here in the gazebo, and then the building behind is Sunkist Center for receptions, and it has kitchen facilities, and it's a wonderful place.
Now, Ron, this architecture is appropriate to the time, isn't it?
That's correct. It's a craftsman style building. All the buildings here in the park are recreated in that craftsman style 1920s era.
Well, it looks great. Now we're coming on a whole group of people. What's going on over here?
Morning.
Good morning. What is this?
Just finished a tour.
Oh, you finished? Well, we just finished a tour too.
Oh, how nice.
All right. Now, did you all learn a lot about citrus from this lady?
We did.
Pretty good tour guide. Good. All right. Now, what have we got going on here? We're here for a reason, aren't we?
Yes, and then we wind up our tours with a citrus tasting. We have a little bit of fruit over here that we
Well, I've
let.
already tasted it out in the grove, so I don't know whether I'm supposed to be doing that or not. How does that work?
Well, come on
with us,
over here and
everybody.
we'll show you. We have very knowledgeable people who can tell you a little bit more about all this.
Howdy, Huell Hauser.
Hi, how are you?
Nice
I'm
to
Marty
meet you.
Lynn.
Howdy.
Miss Kawahara. Miss
Nice
Kawahara.
to meet you. Tell us what's going on over here.
Well, we have all these different kinds of citrus, and we cut a few of them for you to taste. Now over here is the pomelo, Chandler pomelo, and it's eaten as a dessert. After dinner, people sit around the table and peel one of these, and after you peel it, that's how it looks.
Now, are these all from the grove here?
Most of these we have in our varietal grove here. UCR cooperated with us and donated trees and helped us get all this wonderful varietal grove that you see.
And you're not doing this just for us. I mean, the school kids, everybody gets to taste.
Yes, our school children come and they're usually doing California history. And so as part of California history, of course our second gold rush is the citrus.
Oh my gosh, this is so
tasty.
sweet.
See, That's why they eat it as a dessert. Yeah.
Oh boy, look, we got a captive audience over here. Did you all get to try the fruit? Well, come on over and take a taste over here. What have we got over? Now, those are the blood oranges.
Blood oranges. This is Valencia, the navel orange. This is the Caracara navel. It's the orange of the future.
What do you mean, the orange of the future?
It's going to eventually become the dominant orange that's grown in California. It's a pink navel. Yeah.
Oh boy, look at everybody going for it.
Oh yeah.
Now I bet the kids like that.
The kids love it. One of the things I'm trying to show the children, what is the first orange that came to California?
Where is it?
It's right here. It's a Valencia.
A Valencia.
And it came with Father Sarah when he started the missions, and he planted the seeds. So we had lemons and oranges here in California.
So the Valencia orange was the first, but the navel orange is the one that put Riverside on the map, wasn't it?
Put Riverside on the map.
This was used in the packing houses right at the turn of the century. And it's pedal powered, and they put the oranges in the top here.
How does this work? Can we demonstrate it?
And we'll start pedaling. And you watch, and it sizes the oranges as they go down. The larger the orange, the farther down it goes. Small oranges here will start dropping in these.
Look at this.
And there they go. Real long oranges go way down the end and they make a mess.
So this is the way they would have sorted the oranges.
They would sort the oranges like this in the packing houses. They actually had a little longer chute so that when the oranges came down, they would come into the boxes in the size that they're supposed to come in.
What an interesting idea. A very simple idea, but it worked.
Yeah, very simple. The only thing is I can't see doing this for about 8 hours.
All right, we're all posed up here with the citrus picking bag here, California Citrus State Historic Park. We've got our happy docents, our happy visitors, our happy park superintendent. We're standing here with an example, a wonderful example of a California navel orange. And I just found out for the first time why they're called navel oranges.
You did?
Yeah.
Why are they called navel oranges?
Because it looks like a navel here.
That's correct.
Wow. I guess that's as good a reason as any. That really is how they got their name.
That's exactly how they got their name, because it looks just like a belly button.
Wow. You see, when you come here to this park, you find out all kinds of interesting information.
You're right.
We have had a wonderful, wonderful day here. This is a wonderful park that is still growing. It's going to get just better with age. And this park, the California Citrus State Historic Park here in Riverside, which of course pays tribute to the entire citrus industry all over our state, is a wonderful place to visit, not only to study our state's citrus past, but to find out what's going on in the citrus industry today. This is a great place to visit. And of course, this is just one example of California's golden parks. Goodbye, everybody. Wave goodbye. Hello, everybody. I'm Huell Hauser. I sure hope you enjoyed our visit to one of California's golden parks. And if you'd like to go on this adventure again or share it with your family and friends, it's available on video cassette. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727 and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.